This is Radar for On the Radar and Tape Blog, coming to another edition of MLB Observations Week 18 of the 2023 season. For the Tigers, Riley Green batting third and Spencer Torkelson batting third. Makes sense. You got speed at the top and power in the middle. And Vierling and Ibanez, who are backups, batting 1 and 2. That's fine. Issues are Ibanez either playing first base or playing the outfield or batting the middle lineup. Carpenter again. If he's a third baseman, the Tigers don't have a third baseman, why don't you play him there? Disrespecting Miggy by batting him 7th, 6th is a little bit better. Riley Green should be always at the top, not fourth. Vierling, I thought he's an outfielder. Why are you wasting time with him at third base? Baez shouldn't be that low when this lineup has no thump to it. And McKinstry's an infielder, not an outfielder, and Mayton's a utility guy, so 7's a little bit too high. Miami. Soler should be in the middle of the lineup, not second. Because Cruz and Sanchez has no business being in the middle of the lineup when they should be lower. Arise batting leadoff is way better than batting third, but he's the perfect two-hitter. Birdie is an infielder. Stop playing him in the outfield. Stop playing Garrett Hampson in the outfield. I don't like Birdie batting fifth. Again, he's not a power hitter. Wendell, again, not a shortstop. He's the second baseman, third baseman by trade. De La Cruz, they batted him second once. I'm like, okay, that's better. And then Jazz Chisholm, he's back and healthy. I'm like, cool. Oh, now he's back in center field. Not his position. And he's not a cleanup hitter. He should be the top lineup with a ride. Philly, Kyle Schwarber leading off and stop batting fifth. You want Stott at the top and Kyle Schwarber in the middle. Or so like when Trey Turner's second, that's good. Then they're like, we'll put Trey Turner sixth. Not a power guy. Bryce Harper, I know he's playing first base because he's coming off surgery on his shoulder. But again, Schwarber and Castellanos are bad outfielders. And then Matt Strahm started the year in the rotation, but now he's pitching in the bullpen. And then they're like, let's change it. Let's put also Trey Turner fifth to put Nicky Castellanos second. I'm like, come on. Then you get Edmond Sosa, the backup. Harrison, are you backup? And, Brandon, Brandon Marsh batting 6th or 7th. Like, come on. And then Bone batting second is also dumb. And then Jake Cave's an outfielder. Don't play him at first base. Pirates, outside of Sawinski batting 4th. Then they're like, we'll bat him leadoff. I think 6 is a pretty good spot for him. Reynolds, when he plays left field and bats second, perfect spot in position. Davis is a catcher. Stop playing him in the outfield. Again, with Austin Hedges traded, he should be catching. Connor Joe is no longer playing the outfield. He's playing first base. But he's not a leadoff hitter. So at least with Santana and G-Man Choi trade, he can play first base. Andrew McCutcheon, middle lineup. Again, not a leadoff hitter. Hayes batting 5th, not a 2-hitter. And then Rivas is a first baseman, but again, not a leadoff hitter. Like, what are you doing there? He's not an outfielder, okay? Yankees, Gleyber Torres batting leadoff or second. He's not a top order hitter, and he's not a middle order hitter, so he should not be batting third. Judge Adoba is batting leadoff or second. He should be in the middle lineup. Rizzo and Stanton makes sense middle lineup. James LeMahieu batting 5th gives him no offensive value because he's not a home run guy, and he's not a third baseman. IKF playing the outfield again. He's a catcher. Third base is fine. Him leading off, not a leadoff hitter. Bader, not a 5 through 7 hitter. Bowers playing first base and batting 5th through 6th makes sense. He's not an outfielder or a leadoff hitter. And again, Allen and McKinney, those are backup outfielders. They shouldn't be batting higher than 8th or 9th. O's, I was tired of Adley Rutschman batting second. Well, they're like, your face. He's going to lead off. And I was like, man, Gunner's not a leadoff hitter. He's perfect in the 5 or 6 spot, which he's done a few times. Nope, they put him second, and then he's played shortstop someday. Or Hearn, I like him middle of the lineup playing first base, but they're like, let's play him in the outfield. When you have so many outfielders on this roster, like, what are you doing? Frazier, again, not an outfielder, play him in the infield. There's plenty of outfielders. Again, not a 6th hitter, no value there. Austin Hayes, batting him leadoff for 2 is cool, but 4th and 5th, he's not a cleanup hitter. Mountcastle is a cleanup hitter, the middle of the order guy, not batting second. And Westberg's a rookie. He's not a power guy. He should not be batting 6th. Angels, Ohtani should be batting 3rd. Trout's out for a while. Taylor Ward's out probably for the rest of the year. Rendon or sellout. So it's basically been Ohtani. So Mickey Moniak is playing, and I like that, but he's not a 3 through 4 hitter. And before Taylor Ward got hurt, I did like that he was batting middle lineup. But again, catcher playing the outfield. And then Tice is an infielder outfielder playing catcher, so I don't trust him. And Rengifo should be playing second base or shortstop. Not in the outfield, and they lost the DH for maneuvering, obviously, to Ohtani. I like Whit Merrifield and Bobish at the top of the lineup, and Springer in the 4th and 5th spot, and him playing right field because the days of him playing center field are over. But again, putting Whit Merrifield in left field and Varsho in center field because you're giving Kiermaier the day off is like, you need to have a 4th outfielder for that. And Biggio, again, like Whit Merrifield. Second base is not an outfielder, and Belt is open batting second. He's middle lineup. Washington, C.J. Abrams and Lane Thomas 1 and 2 is good. But Garcia used to be at the top, is batting 6th or 7th with Ilomar Vargas. Those guys are not power hitters, and one's a backup. Dom Smith and Dickerson should be middle lineup, not 8th. Dickerson playing right field to stretch for a DH left fielder. Adams, the backup catcher, 6 is way too high for that. And Candelario, when he was with the team, Again, one of these statistical worst hitters. I don't want him second or third, maybe fifth or sixth. And then Keibert Ruiz is a good franchise catcher for this team, but he's not a middle-of-the-order guy. He's probably sixth or seventh at best. And then they're like, okay, they sent down Garcia, whatever, and they have some nobodies up right now. And you're like, okay, well, Chavis will get some starts at third base because they traded Candelario. Nope, they play him at second base, not his position. Met. Lindor needs to stay in the middle lineup. He's not a two-hitter. He had 1 point in his career. He stole a lot of bases. Pham, not a cleanup hitter. He's a good hitter, but not that. Jeff McNeil, not a leadoff hitter. 2 is probably a good spot for him. Again, like third through fifth, he's not a middle-order hitter like that. Again, you're embarrassing him by playing him in the outfield. Canna, again, it's a stretch when he plays right field because he's a first baseman by trade playing left field, and he's played some first base, but now he's been traded to the Brewers. Alvarez should be the middle lineup because this is what happens. You get Arauz and Danny Mendick at the bottom of the lineup, and I'm like, it would have been better if Alvarez was like 6th or 7th, man. And Mendick's not an outfielder like Jeff McNeil. He's a second baseman. TJ Stewart, you called him up because he's like a slugging corner outfielder DH. Like, he should not be batting second. That's what happens when you put the guy in the wrong spot. And then Mendick pitched the blowout. Cleveland, they moved Jimenez to the 2 spot ever since they traded Rosario, so they're listening. Brennan, I'd never heard of this dude. He just gets called up, and he literally is batting the middle lineup. Like, what are you doing? He's not a 4th or 6th hitter. Then Fry actually caught a game when he's a catcher, but now with the trade of Bell, he's going to probably get some starts at first base or DH, and Aria is the one playing shortstop after playing outfield at first base on days when he gave people the day off. White Sox, Benny and Tim Anderson 1 and 2 made sense, or putting Anderson back in the leadoff spot. What makes no sense is Moncada's second. Like, I know he's pretty fast, but that's the whole point of Benintendi, for him to be the top of the lineup, not for him to be a waste of a spot batting 5th or 6th. And Trace Thompson's a great outfielder, but he can't hit. Why is he batting so high at the 6th spot? And then Remolard's the infielder, stopped playing in the outfield. Before they traded Jake Berger, else he was playing second base, out of position, just to get his bat in the lineup. And then I want Moncada batting cleanup. That's why you have Vaughn, Sheets, and Aloy. Come on. And then, lastly, if you give either Aloy or Andrew Vaughn the day off, that opens up first base or DH, and that's where you should be playing Gavin Sheets, not in the outfield. Brewers, Yelich and Contreras and Adames batting 1, 2, and 3. Yelich and Contreras should be the middle of this lineup. And Frelick is a rookie, so again, it's a lot of pressure. They got Carlos Santana in there, so he's breaking up. He's batting 3rd. And some days Adames is batting 5th, but it's like, Adames should be 2. And now they got Marquez. I'm glad they put him in the right spot. They're putting him 5th. Atlanta, the whole Acuna leading off, I have a problem in general, but this lineup is perfect. If Albies is back to being second full-time, at Olsen, Riley, and whoever's catching, and then the Rosario, Ozuna, and then Arcia and Harris, that's like the best lineup in baseball. And Acuna playing right field is something for like years I've been saying he should, and he's been doing it. And then Pilar batting 7th. Just because he's starting Freddie Rosario doesn't mean he should be batting 7th, man. Houston, Altuve, I don't like him leading off, but if there's no other choice, that's totally fine, because Pena batting 2nd or Dubon batting at the top makes sense. I like Bregman in the middle of the lineup. Kessinger is a shortstop, stop playing at first base. Chaz is an outfielder. He's not a power hitter, so he should be DHing. That's what Yordan Alvarez should be doing someday. And Jolks, if he's good enough to be the DH and bat 6th or 7th, why are you batting him 9th? It just makes no sense. Correa, you pay all this money for him to stay here and be the middle lineup. Stop having him bat leadoff. I like Julian batting 2nd because he's been playing second base, but don't waste the DH spot when you have like 3 or 4 guys you can DH on this team in Buxton and Gallo and whatnot, okay? Then 5th is, again, not a spot for him. He's not a power hitter. Solano, again, second base and third baseman should not be playing first base or batting 3rd, okay? Polanco, I'm glad he's back and he's batting 5th, but they're like, yeah, we'll bat him 3rd. And then if they're going to play him at third base, they should have done that before they traded the batting champ Luis Arraez to Miami, because they were like, yeah, he has nowhere to play because we want Polanco's power numbers as an infielder. Ugh, stupid. Willie Castro, again, stop playing an infielder in the outfield. The whole point of getting Joey Gallo is to bat him middle lineup, not bat him 9th. Buxton should be 3 or 4 if he's not leading off. 6 is a little bit too far down. And then Kyle Farmer's a catcher. Stop playing him as shortstop, and I don't want a middle lineup. He's a backup. Royals. This Mikael Garcia guy, if he was batting in the middle lineup and now he's batting leadoff, what is he? A power hitter or a top-of-the-order guy? Melendez batting middle lineup is perfect, but again, a catcher playing the outfield is a bad outfielder. Salvador Perez playing first base is stupid when you should be playing Prado at first base as much as possible. And then him batting, Fermin, the backup catcher, batting higher than 8th is stupid. 5th is dumb. Duffy's a second baseman, third baseman, but a natural-born shortstop should not be playing first base. Olivares is not a slugging outfielder, so he shouldn't be DHing. And then Nicky Lopez, before he got traded again, first base, something he's never done before when he's a middle infielder. It's just dumb. They lost DH maneuvering. Now we got the Cubs. Nico Horner at the top. or second is good. Those where he belongs. Talkman, if he's at the top, or Swanson, that's fine. Swanson should not be batting fourth and fifth. He was good at the top. Suzuki's good at between 3 and 5, not second. Happ's obviously perfect in the third spot. Bellinger, if they're gonna admit that he's not good enough to play every day in the outfield, just stop playing him in the outfield, let him play first base. Gomes is not a cleanup hitter. He's never been his whole career, and he's a catcher who's been an okay hitter. I said you could DH literally Patrick Wisdom. You should not be DHing, Yan Gomes. Wisdom again. First baseman by trade, stop playing him at third base. Smiley started a game that they had an opener when they could have just started him. Morel, I know they're trying to spot in the lineup for him, but again, not a DH. He's not an outfielder. Second's a good spot, not 3 through 6. Madrigal, again, not a third baseman. He's a second baseman. They lost the DH maneuvering. Candelario, the whole point of getting him was for him to play third base. Why is Wisdom and Madrigal playing third base and playing first base? Play Wisdom at first base. That's his position. Hap, keep him in the 3 spot. 5 is not where he belongs. And Suzuki, if he's not batting 3, 4, 5, 7's kind of low. I don't get it. Cardinals, Goldschmidt's still batting second when he's in the middle lineup. Probably not why they haven't driven a lot of runs. Taylor Motter, who's now on the team for the third time utility man. 7 is way too high. Bat him 9th or 8th. Tommy Edman, if he's not batting 1 and 2, again, bottom of the lineup, not 5th. A's, Tony Kemp, I like him leading off, but again, not an outfielder. The Diaz's, they're not middle-order hitters. Stop doing that. And Laureano's not a middle-order hitter batting 5th. Blade, also not a middle-order hitter. Seth Brown should not be playing first base. He's an outfielder. I like that they moved Blade to the leadoff spot one day and Geloff was batting second. That's speed and contact. Colorado. Profar and infield put in the outfielder, so it always makes me cringe. Tovar, if he's batting 1 or 2, is great. McMahon should be middle lineup, especially with Chris Bryant hurt and them trading away all their other sluggers. Gritchik, before he got traded again, stop playing him in center field. He's a corner guy. And Diaz, I know he had a breakout all-star year, but again, I would not bat him 3 through 6 in my lineup. He'd bet the bottom. Rogers is back, good for him, but again, let this dude play the infield. You don't really have a set shortstop or second baseman, and he's not a DH or a cleanup hitter. Togaila is just following in the stamps of Nolan Jones, of first baseman or third baseman playing the outfield. Just stay at first base or DH. Moustakas and Kroner are gone, and Chris Bryant's hurt. There's plenty of at-bats to go around for you guys at first base DH. Harold Castro, they play him at second base a little bit more because we know he's not an outfielder. 7th, a little bit too high, and they're actually starting Peter Lambert after having pitched up open a lot, and obviously we talk about Nolan Jones being an infielder in the outfield. Mariners, J.P. Crawford and Julio Rodriguez at the top, fine by me. The speed and contact at the top. And Dylan Moore, stop playing in the outfield. They literally just cut Colton Wong. They don't really have an everyday second baseman. Cole Caballero's been okay, but he's a utility guy on most teams. And in the recent trade that they made, they got Josh Rojas. And I was tired of him playing second base because, he's we've been over this. He's a third baseman, not a second baseman. But again, they don't have a second baseman unless they're going to DH Suarez some days and Rojas plays third base. He's going to have to get some at-bats in there because he's got a good bat that they need. Okay, Corbin Carroll, I know he's a rookie all-star, but again, third is way too high in a lineup that has a lot of other guys. Maybe 1 or 2, that's good for me. Manny Rivera batting 5 through 8 is good. I don't want him batting second. Stupid. Tommy Pham's a good hitter, but again, I got Christian Walker, I got Lourdes Gurriel Jr., I got Pavin Smith. I got enough guys that I want to be batting Evan Longoria in the 3 through 5 spot, okay? Perdomo and Ahmed being your 6 and 7 hitter means that you're batting the wrong guys at the top of the lineup. McCarthy, again, him batting 6 when you should be middle of the lineup and at the bottom of the lineup because he's not a great hitter is what it is. Simeon leading off, I'm okay with it if we don't have Seager second, but he's still batting second. Duran, I thought he's a shortstop. Why is he playing first base? Jankowski was great in the 2 spot, but 6, no power. Josh Smith is a third baseman. Don't play him as shortstop. Robbie Grossman in the 2 spot is much better than Seager, but it's not where he belongs. Kim leading off is great because then Soto stays in the 3 spot because Tatis the second for the Padres. I told you so. Cronenworth's not going to give you offensive value batting 5 or 6 when he's playing first base because he's a middle infielder by trade. That's why they went and got Garrett Cooper and G-Man Choi, man. And then I like the Nick, and he did play some second base. But Nick Martinez, who was so bad for Team USA, and I was like, this dude's not a great starting pitcher. He's been good at the bullpen for the Padres. Reds, De La Cruz went from batting 3rd to 1st because he's got speed. Go right ahead. Friedel second, speed and contact. McClain, who was in the 2 spot, took the 3 spot from India. I'd rather have India 3rd because he's probably their best all-around hitter at this point. McClain, I don't know. I don't want a rookie 3rd. Fraley is out there for his defense. I didn't know he was a cleanup hitter or a 5 hitter. And India, again, if he's not batting 1 or 2, 3 should be where it be. Spencer Steer, I understand if you there's so many infielders and no room. and you don't want to just DH Joey Votto like I keep telling you, and they play him in the outfield, cool. Then one, they're like, nah, well, he'll go back to third. And then the dumbest thing ever, Kyle Newman, Barrero, Nick Senzel, McClain, Jonathan India, and De La Cruz. Do you know how many infielders those are? Why is Spencer Steer playing second base when he's a third baseman who's much better suited to play first base or DH? Like, I just don't get it. Senzel, when he had played, he has batted second or played third base, but then stopped throwing him in the outfield. But again, there's no room. He makes more sense because he's more career innings in the outfield. DHing Benson, when I just mentioned you could DH Steer or Joey Votto, is a waste. Newman batting fifth is way too in the middle lineup for a guy who's not a power hitter, but leading off is good. And Luke Malley pitched in a blowout twice, the backup catcher. Dodgers, Mookie Betts. I hope the end of him playing second base and he can go back to playing right field, because I'm still having a problem with him leading off and Freddie Freeman second and Will Smith third, because this is what happened. They decided we're going to put Ahmed Rosario, our new infielder that we have with Kiki Hernandez. We're going to put him fourth or fifth, and at least they took my advice. He should not be playing shortstop. He's not a great shortstop. You have Miguel Rojas, who's a glove first guy, and he traded for Kiki, and you got Chris Taylor. That's fine. They lost stage maneuvering, and again, Hayward should not be playing first base. If you don't play Freddie Freeman at first base, you know who should play first base? Max Muncy. You play Chris Taylor third base, that makes sense. Kiki Hernandez, not a first baseman. Again, Hayward's not a center fielder either. He should be playing right field if he ever gets a start. Miguel Rojas pitching a blowout, wasting a DH spot on Chris Taylor when they could DH a lot of other guys in this lineup. Like, they got JD Martinez, they got Dave Peralta, come on. And then Kiki Hernandez playing center field. I'm like, that's better, but like the whole point is they have enough outfielders, and there's no business for David Peralta to be batting leadoff. He's a power guy. Boston, I like Jalen Duran leading off, but again, Rob Refsnyder is an infielder. Stop playing him in the outfield. Yoshi Tsugo should not be batting second. He's a middle of the order guy. That's why they got him for all this money. Turner also should be middle lineup, not second, but now he's playing some of his old position second base. Devers batting fourth finally. They did it consistently. It's where he belongs. Duvall batting fifth or sixth is great. But what makes me mad is that, okay, so Yoshi Tsugo isn't playing left field that day. He has the day off for his DHing. Maybe you should play Adam Duvall in left field. To put Jalen Duran in left field when he's an actual center fielder by trade is stupid, because Duvall's not even an outfielder by trade. Then I was tired of Christian Arroyo and Kiki Hernandez back when they were both in the team together back 6th or 7th. They should be the top or the bottom. Chang is a shortstop. They said they decided to keep Chang or Pablo Reyes over Kiki Hernandez, who they traded, and now they just got rid of Arroyo. You actually should play this guy as shortstop. Verdugo batting second is a lot better than him leading off, but he should be in the middle lineup. And the Red Sox did an opener. Okay, then we got the Giants. Jock Peterson is no business being off or batting second. You got him to be the middle lineup. Conforto also, you got him to be middle lineup, because nobody wants Mike Yastrzemski batting in the middle lineup cleanup. Nope. I don't want Bitch Bailey or this Montos guy or Luciano batting in the middle lineup. No, those are rookies or backups. I don't want that. That's not where they belong. Slater, again, not a leadoff hitter. He's out there for his power. Don't play him in center field. He's a corner outfielder. Sable, again, he's gone back and forth between catcher and outfield. Just play the dude at catcher. They don't have a set catcher. Manaya pitching out of the bullpen, Stripling, and Alex Wood all pitching out of bullpen, but they're still doing stupid openers to start those guys. They're all three of those guys are starting pitchers. And Judas actually started a game, you know? And I meant Luciano. He's a rookie, not batting third. Like a DH is a lot for him, okay? Thanks again for listening to another edition of MLB Observations, Week 18 of the 2023 season. For On the Radar Today vlog, I'm Radar. See you guys next time.